Hey y'all, it's that time again. It's Math with Mrs. Peters, the crazy cat lady of Hiram High School. Today's topic, multiplying polynomials. A polynomial by a polynomial. The two things we're going to have to remember is our basic exponent rule. Remember from the previous one we did say 3x times 2x to the fourth, and when we have like bases we can add the exponents, and this would be 6x to the fifth power. I want you to also remember that when we're adding polynomials, because we're going to have to use that action for doing multiplying a polynomial to a polynomial, that if I had 4x squared plus 3x to the fifth minus 2x squared, the only two terms that I could actually add would be the 4x squared and the negative 2x, and those would come together to give me 2x squared, and the 3x to the fifth would have to be just brought down by itself because there would be nothing to add to it. All right, now we're going to do a binomial times a binomial, and I like using the box method. In the previous lesson, we learned to take the first polynomial, which at that time was just a 3 or a 3x. It was a monomial, and we wrote it on the left-hand side of the box. We're going to do that with this one too. But we're going to partition horizontally our box so that the 3x is here and the positive 5 is there. Because this is a binomial and not a monomial, I'm going to partition it into two pieces horizontally. The other piece, the 4x minus 7, has two terms, so I'm going to partition vertically and write in my 4x and my minus 7. Now I can do some multiplication. So 3x times 4x, well 3 times 4 is 12, x times x is x squared. 3x times negative 7 is negative 7 times 3 is negative 21, and x, just tack it on. 4x times positive 5, well 4 times 5 is 20, and x doesn't have anything to multiply with. And then I have 5 times negative 7, which is a negative 35. Now, let's write down what our area inside our box has given us. It has given us 12x squared minus 21x plus 20x minus 35. Now we're going to use our adding polynomials, and we're going to hopefully notice that I have a negative 21x and a positive 20x, and those can be brought together to give myself negative 1x. The parts that I didn't use, the 12x squared and the negative 35, are just going to be brought down. So I have 12x squared and I have a negative 35, and my final answer is going to be 12x squared minus 1x minus 35. All right, now in this particular problem I have a binomial. The binomial is 3x plus 5, and I have a trinomial, 4x squared minus 7x plus 2, and I'm still going to use the box method. This gives us a good area answer also. So let me draw my box. Here's my box. A little bit longer than it is high because I'm going to partition horizontally for the 3x plus 5, and I'm going to partition vertically, and I'm going to need two partitions to cut it into 3 parts for the 4x squared minus 7x plus 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do my multiplication. So, 3 times 4 is 12. X times x squared is x cubed. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. X times x is x squared. 3 times 2 is 6, and x times nothing there is just plain old x. Now I'm going to do the bottom row. 4 times 5 is 20. x squared. And negative 7 times 5 is negative 35x. And 5 times positive 2 is 10. And what's really sort of cool about this, that if we're lucky, we don't have to write out the whole polynomial. We can do some adding while it's still within our area of the box. What I want you to notice is I have an x squared term here and an x squared term there. So when I add those two together, I get 1x squared. And then I have a 35x here and a 6x there. And when I add those together, I get negative 29x. So I can see, without having to write everything out, I can still condense my area or my polynomial just a little bit more. But if you didn't see that, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to write out our polynomial. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write out my polynomial as if I didn't notice that I had that easy shortcut. I have 12x cubed minus 21x squared plus 6x plus 20x squared minus 35x plus 10. Now, hopefully, okay, with my brief little thing there about the shortcut, if you didn't see it, I want you to notice that I have some like terms here. And I do grab the sign in front. So negative 21x squared plus 20x is negative 1x squared. And I also have another like terms here at positive 6x and negative 35x. And that's going to give me, I think, negative 29x. And the polynomial, and the terms that I didn't use with my polynomial should be plus 10, because that's this 10 that I didn't use, and the positive 12x cubed that didn't get used, and that's my final answer. My final answer is 12x cubed minus 1x squared minus 29x plus 10. Now, y'all take care. Write down any questions you have, bring them to class, and we'll work on them together. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.